I'll be honest. Welcome back to the Affaka Show. Let's just get set up here for 2 seconds because everything's messed up. But I'll be crystal clear. I thought this was America. And now, sure, my headphones are getting yanked to the left like I have a whale pushing in them against me with the ocean's force. But my God, I thought this was America. Maybe I am unfamiliar, but NFL Red Zone. This is what America's all about. It's about apple pie. Sure, you can be like, oh, what about baseball? But no, 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 no. This is all about taking our Red Zone back. If those of you don't know, Red Zone is now going to have commercials, and I'm upset, outraged. That's another word for it. But I just cannot believe the integrity that the NFL just does not have anymore based upon the fact that, oh, let's just give it away for you for commercials. Who pissed off Mickey Mouse? That's what I want to know. Someone bully him as a kid? What truly happened? And honestly, I'm just upset, but that's me. I even got compliments on the first live show from someone yesterday whose birthday it is. Shout out A-Bone if you ever watched this. Shout out you because you're great. But it came moments after the fact that I got this news about Red Zone, so I was not that happy. But welcome, people. We'll have to move on. We'll have to adapt. I have the TikTok going on. I got the YouTube live. For everyone in the comments on the TikTok, go over, hit my profile, go to YouTube. I'll stop the show, answer questions at the YouTube after you guys subscribe. One question size guide is Daniels or Dak? Give me Jane Daniels. He's just a better quarterback. But people, we got some games. We covered Red Zone. And if you guys want stuff for the games later, for the Eagles, and then we also have them playing the Dallas Cowboys. Some say Dallas Cowgirls. Go ahead and message me then. But we're going to try a live show, switch it up from our usual. First game I want to cover. Hello, everyone on the TikTok as well. First game I want to cover, plain and simple, is going to be this one right here. Cleveland versus Cincinnati. So when we're looking into the game, we're not going to try to throw up and barf. That would be bad. But let's break down these 5 games that I have on. Travis or Golden, give me Golden there. Let's break down these 5 games. So, right now, you have the Bengals playing the Browns. Nope, I'll try that again. Live show, what do you want? I thought I just saw a snowflake outside. We have the Bengals taking on the Browns. Right now, the Browns are 5.5-point favorites at the time of filming with 61% of the bets and 74% of the money backing them. Everyone is heavy on the Bengals. That's what I meant for who has all the money, who all the tickets back them. Everyone's giving up on this Browns team. I don't see a reason that we should be giving up on this Browns team. Particularly, I think that they're fantastic and that we should applaud this Browns team. Fantastic might not be the right word, but they're not as bad as what everyone thinks. So they have Joe Flacco starting at quarterback, and sometimes he looks like a quarterback one god, best player in the NFL. Other times he looks terrible. He looks like a Toy Story Martian out there. You know, the one with the one eyeball, and he would make a terrible, terrible quarterback. Potentially a pretty good running back, maybe a fullback with that body type, but overall, he would make a bad quarterback. Offense has some running back issues, but again, that's off the field stuff. Wide receiver, you have Jerry Jeudy. I love him. Tillman, okay. Njoku, he's going to be good for a couple catches. We're going to kind of dive into that a little bit later, but the offense doesn't have a ton of elite options. Everyone tuning in onto the TikTok, go to the YouTube live right there on Tet, by the way. And the defense is elite. You have Myles Garrett. He's reportedly just throwing people around with just one hand in training camp, which is just, it's terrifying. He's terrifying because he dresses up on Halloween. But here's the thing. If he dressed up on another day that's not Halloween, it might be even more scary because on Halloween, I'm anticipating it. And when he dresses up in a Browns uniform, I'm still scared because I'm just afraid that my quarterback's just going to be around there and he's going to get after him. So I really hope that doesn't happen. But in this case, I might. Browns defense, they can be able to slow off this Bengals offense. So this offense should not be this offense, I don't think is going to be, it's going to be able to score their points. The Cincinnati's offense is going to be able to score their points. MTech, yep, RIP, Stream East, and Red Zone. It's terrible. It's terrible. people come over to the live show on the YouTube, and we're looking at the Bengals, right? Burrow, he's still the man. There's no doubt there. Quarterback documentary had tons of colors, and it was pretty electric. Not gonna lie. But his house got broken into, and he had a supermodel just casually staying there. So I think that's pretty cool. None of this matters in football, though. None of it matters in football. Joe Burrow is still Joe Burrow. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He has some of the best offensive talent around him. Does he have an offensive line? Don't worry about that. But he has Chase Brown, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase around him. Their defense ranks pretty bottom in every single thing. Like every single category, their defense is pretty bad. And that's just where it is. People, I'm ending the live on the TikTok. Go over to my YouTube. All right, let's go. We got focused. The TikTok was getting me. Let's dive into these actual games right here. So the offense is elite. The offensive line is just terrible. I mean, it's worse than, waiting in a line. Doesn't matter what type of line, just any type of line, it is worse than doing that. And that's bad. That's bad, right? The front office just won't invest in them. And they lost an insane amount of one-score games last year. So I anticipate them to have a better season this year. I really do. Because how can you lose that many one-score games? It is honestly sad and a little bit scary. But they're always a scary playoff team later in the year. Burrow, fun fact for you, is 1-4 straight up and against the spread against Browns. Not great. Not great. That's not true. That's also not a true stat. I don't know where I got that stat from. That's not true. It doesn't matter. I don't care. The executive Affaka pick, if you guys have been following along, was over 45.5. Once the name Joe Flacco, the starter, I placed it, it's bumped up 2 points since then. I'm taking over 47.5. I also have the Browns plus 5.5. I'm going to wait until kickoff because I think I can see this line moving to 6. So, executive Affaka pick. We're going to take Cleveland plus 5.5 there. Hopefully no one sees that and thinks it's money line. That's not going to happen unless it might. It just might, people. It just might. Mark Anthony Lopez, sorry if you've been in here for a while. And Zane as well. But Daniels or Dak, we're going to Daniels all day. Love the running upside ability. Mark Anthony Lopez, Rate Burrow, St. Brown, DK Worthy, James Conner, Bucky Irving, Travis Kelce, Ravens C. Aubrey. Like Aubrey as a kicker, but dude, give me how many people on your team. Could be a fantastic team or it could be a terrible team given the amount of people in your league. Next up, I'll get to that question because I'm diving off 2 screens. We're going to dive into the Steelers versus Jets. Not the sexiest game when you're thinking about your combos, but honestly, I love this game because of the narratives. Revenge quarterbacks for both. Don't forget about Justin Fields' revenge for Pittsburgh. They kind of did him dirty last year, although he was starting to kill it a little bit. Russ did seem like he should be the pick there, but at the end of the day, who truly knows? Okay, so current line is Jets plus 3. Right now is 40% of the bets and 28% of the money back in the Jets. Line has moved from 3.5 to 2.5. Now it's back to 3. So that indicates a little bit of sharp movement there. Pittsburgh Steelers, new offense, but they also kind of just look the same, right? You have an old as dirt quarterback playing, and then you just swapped out Pickens from Metcalf. It's still a vertical downfield receiver. So no long-term answers there. Rodgers, again, passes prime. The Tom Brady blueprint just isn't going to work out for him. I truly think he got that Achilles injury way too late in his career to truly bounce back from it. But who knows? He seems like the type of guy who's really into witchcraft, so maybe he can bounce back there. I don't know. What do I look like to you? A doctor? No, I'm doing this. Sometimes he does still look like prime Rodgers, though. To be fair, like in the Jets last year when he had the connection with Devontae Adams. Sometimes he looks like the sloth from Zootopia, so you tell me how to figure it out because I don't know. Caleb Johnson, right now he's like second or third running back, but he'll be number 1 by the end of the year. Still defensive first team. I mean, you have Watt. What else more do you want? The issue really comes down to the fact that, it's an offensive league. You got to score points. I don't know what you want. Speaking of scoring points and speaking of probably not doing that's the New York Jets. Look, Roger last year, he was able to move the ball. He just could not finish drives. Now you have Justin Fields taking over. In Pittsburgh last year, half of his starts, they weren't terrible. I mean, he had 6 rushing touchdowns, 6 passing touchdowns, I believe. The NFL keeps trying to force him as a pocket passer. I truly think Justin Fields can excel if you just let him be who he is. Just let him, just kind of like how Madonna's who she is, how Lady Gaga is who she is. Just let Justin Fields be who he is. Run the ball, do a little dink and dive passes, throw it down the field. Cut the kid loose. Don't make him sit in the pocket. He gets antsy, and someone who gets antsy, I understand. You just want to take off and run sometimes. He could be like a triple option team with Fields, Breece Hall, Wilson. Garrett Wilson can run the jet sweep. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Aaron Glenn, defensive-minded coach, comes over. Hopefully you can spark this defense a little bit. Sauce Gardner, he was great last year. I mean, he was great 2 years ago. Then he is not so great. I think the fame might have got to his head because he did a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. I mean, if you're going to do a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial, you need to just be the guy. Plain and simple. Jason Kelce could be a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. Me? No, I'm not the guy. I'm not close to the guy. But if you're going to bring the sauce, you got to bring the heat because you got to do it for all your boys out in Buffalo Wild Wings. Shout out all of them. I live in New York City. It's still impossible to find good wings whatsoever. What's up, Zane? Yes, I do still like Dak today. Sadly, against my Eagles, I do think he's going to be able to do pretty well against us, if I'm being honest. But I don't think they're going to win the game. I still have the Eagles to cover. I got them at 6.5. Other people are taking them at 8.5. That's a lot of points. I'd probably try for a live bet, honestly. Here's the thing with Justin Fields, though. Let's get back to him. As a favorite, no. Let me shout out Evan Abrams for the stat first off. When his opponents score more than 20 points, Fields is 0-21 straight up, 5-15-1 against the spread. My God, that is bad. Now, here's the question. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers score more than 20 points? Truthfully, if this Jets defense comes to play, I can't see that being a possibility. I think the total's at, 38 right now? I didn't say it, but I'd love the Jets play at +3. If it gets to +2.5, I don't love it as much. If it gets to +3.5, I might just marry it. If you're doing underdog round robin as well, Jets money line, why not? So, look, we're going to be taking the Jets for one of our 5. Next, we're going to go to Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Right now, Falcons are +2.5, home dogs, divisional. We know we love that. 59% of the bets and 69% of the money backing Atlanta. Let me check the chat. See if anyone is there. We have one person in here, so shout out you. Hope you subscribe and like this. I put in a lot of work in this. Okay, so Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive looks explosive on paper. Baker's really emerged. You have Bucca now joining the squad. Chris Godwin's still out for a little bit. Will come back. And then you have Mike Evans, stud. Can't go wrong with that. Now, Baker Mayfield, he's expected to keep doing big things. Playmaker, chaos, and just has that major, just drop the shoulder, get the first down Baker. In his career, he has made 20 starts as a favorite against a divisional opponent, and he is 6-14 against the spread in those games. Baker does good when there's a chip on his shoulder when he's a dog. They're not the dogs. Everyone's talking about how they are the team, and if we're talking about the NFC, yeah, they're all terrible. But the Buccaneers, they can do something. That is really what the chat is around with the town. That's what the chat is with the town. Am I someone who's believing in that? Maybe not, right? The question is still the defense. Now, they are the weak link. They're holding the team back. They also lost Liam Cohen, which we're going to see how much of impact that truly has. He really sparked Baker's career again, and everyone's kind of projecting that Vic Fangio said this, but there's a lot of talk about how good he was and how much he excelled Baker. So that's their big questions. There's a lot of firepower here, but offensively, that's why it's going to probably lean a lot of their games towards the over. Atlanta Falcons, Michael Penix Jr., first real start. I bet on him a ton in college. He was terrible in college for me against the spread. Thanks, Michael. I want to see how he develops, right? You have Kirk Cousins. You sign him, things go south. I truly, looking back, I don't think he was healthy. Michael Penix comes into play. He did pretty well. Drake London and Kyle Pitts are going to benefit from this. Drake London was just catching balls down the field, and people went on tape saying, like, hey, their coaches are looking back at his Washington tape and learning how they can really stretch the field. So I love Drake London for this year in fantasy. Love him. Love his over. I don't really bet player props overs because injuries, right? Get one injury is really tough to hit that. So if Kyle Pitts stays healthy as well, I think he'll be unleashed. Bijan's still a focal point, right? He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. He's still, oh my God, I'm so excited for football right now on 15 away. He can still do, it's a heavy run identity, and I don't think that's going to change here with the Falcons. The offense have balance now. Their defense does give me significant question marks. I don't think they're going to be able to cover anyone on the pass, which is going to be tough. Falcons are home underdogs. I think they're run heavy. If they can get explosive, I really do believe this is going to be a shootout. I want to see how the Bucs deal with losing the talent. I think Liam Cohn could be a big, big hit. Both their defenses are bad. This line is telling us something, though. It might have been at 3 at one point, but it went 2.5, jumped down to 1.5 sharp. Sharps are loving this 2.5. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to give the Atlanta Falcons at plus 2.5. Now, people, we're halfway through this show. We got 3 great best bets on, and we might have Zane still with us. So, Zane, if you're with us, Zane might have just left. Well, that's what you get when you have a live chat. This is huge, people. Let's go on to Green Bay, Detroit. Green Bay, Detroit, right? Everyone's hyping up this Green Bay team. I'm not buying it. I bought a lot of cheese the other day, and that's the part of Wisconsin I would like to buy. I would like to venture there one day, go to Lambeau, eat a gallon of cheese. My stomach would hurt, but my heart would be full. Right now, the Packers are 2.5-point favorites with 22% of the bets and 23% of the money backing them. Totals at 47.5, only 11% of bets and 13% of money on the over. Detroit Lions, they had a big offseason freakout, right? Both coordinators left. Dan Campbell, it doesn't matter because he's there. Like he still built that offensive identity. I don't care what anyone says about, we're the coordinators, blah, blah. He's building that offensive identity he has from day one. Now, a lot of people who listen to PMT, they also know that he's an offensive-minded person. That's how I really, truly learned it. Because people see his big stature and think defense, he's not defense, he's offense. Now, Goff, he keeps the system stable. He's a very good quarterback. I mean, he had one of the game, he had 1 incompletion, 2 incompletions, something insane like that. So, I love him as a quarterback here. Severely underrated. Supermodel wife. Can't go wrong with a supermodel wife. Now, hi everyone. We have 2 people here. Any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to finish my Green Bay Detroit and we'll get after it. Now, and these are all representative spreads if you're taking some bets. Okay, so Aiden Hutchinson's a real key. He was a stud last year, absolutely was killing it. But here's the thing. He's back this year. Their defense was terrible last year. He's back this year, and they have one of the best secondaries in all of football. I don't understand how people aren't more in on the Lions themselves. Now, without him, sure, they collapsed. But with him, they're going to grind it out. And I love what could potentially happen for this Detroit team. It seems like everyone's writing them off, especially with the Green Bay Packers. They have one of the youngest rosters in the NFL. Jordan Love, 26. Big Cassidy is 37. Fantastic. Great rage bait. But if you're comparing him to the others, I believe, that's when they win Super Bowls, when they have a 26-year-old quarterback. Love from game 1 was an issue, but he played that game in Brazil, got injured there, and honestly wasn't really back to full health that entire season. So that's going to be interesting, where now he's coming back. Now he's finally healthy. You have Matthew Golden, that rookie wide receiver. He's going to extend the field for this Packers team. Micah Parsons now on Green Bay. He could be limited. He was just getting a ton of shots in his back to even play. I personally thought it was just it's a back thing because I don't want to go to Dallas. But this might be an issue. This might be an issue. I gotta check something. Perfect. And so here's the thing. Packers, they're built for this spot. They're 15-3 against the spread in their first 3 games since 2019. 7-0 at Lambeau in this stretch. So shout out to Evan Abram for all those statistics. Again, check out him on the Action Network. Dan Campbell on the other side, though. Dan Campbell's on the other side. He's 11-3 against the spread in September, above 500 every season he's been a coach. Jared Goff is 8-0 against the spread in week 1 starts. He starts off fresh. Packers dominate early, especially in this season at Lambeau. And I just reading my notes. Apparently, I wrote a joke about red zone, and God, I'm still so upset about that. Why would you add commercials to it, Disney? Actually, I take that back unless Disney ever wants me one day. Betting angles, public is heavy on Detroit for both money in the tickets. Spread moved from -1.5 to 2.5, though. So despite all the money dumping in on the Lions, the spread moved the other direction. I don't know if that's from the Parsons trade or if some sharps are hitting it. If Jordan Love is healthy, I love the Packers here at home big time. I'll take the Packers up to 2.5. If for some reason I can't see it happening, gets to 3, give me Detroit, but I like Packers at the 2.5. We're in this 20-minute mark. We got 2 people in here, so welcome. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Any best bets for tonight? I liked the over at 47.5. Things are changing. I do like having Jalen Hurts over rushing 40 yards too. All right. Baltimore against the Bills. Right now, the Bills open up at -1.5. Flip to +1.5 with 22% of the bets and 7% of the money on the over. 7% of the money backing them with 50.5 is the total with 8% of bets and 13% of money on the over. Kind of shocked the public's not hitting this more on the over. I figured fun game, primetime game, the over. The tickets will creep in there for sure. The Ravens, another year, another one of the most talented rosters in the NFL. You make the addition of adding Malachi Starks to beef up your defense. And John Gruden, knock wood if you're with me, absolutely loves Malachi Starks. So guess what? I love Malachi Starks. I like to trust blindly. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. But I think him with Hamilton, this defense is going to be able to get humming. I think Pete Prisco said it. There's maybe some questions at the pass rush. I don't really care. Offensive side of the ball, you have Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's really good at football. He knows how to run the ball, and this is not the playoffs, baby. This is the regular season. So that matters a lot. He still doesn't have that many people to catch the ball. However, when you have to try to defend Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson at the same time, it's very tough. Josh Allen, on the other hand, with the Bills, he's incredible. He's just incredible. Supermodel, actress, musician of a wife. And apparently she's very nice in person. So to just random people. I know someone who met her. Story time. And the Bills, again, Shakir, sure, but there's no dominant pass catchers. Kind of the same thing that Baltimore's dealing with. There's no clear, oh my God, this is a guy number 1 receiver. My prediction, who's going to step up, is going to be I almost swallowed a fly there. Remember Fly Guy? What type of books? I won a raffle in first grade. I haven't won anything since. What's false hope setting me up for the rest of my life? My God. Okay. So here is the thing. When you're looking at them, I think Keon Coleman's poised. Yeah, that's a word. To make a step up this year. So I truly believe Keon Coleman could be the answer to help make this pass catching, to help with the receiving core, right? Offensive line's one of the best in the NFL. James Cook, I love. Ray Davis. The guy has gorgeous eyes. I'll be honest, Ray Davis, you have gorgeous eyes. Must be nice. Must be nice. I don't have, my eyes are fine. I like my eyes, but his are gorgeous. He can catch the ball. Let's not forget that. He can catch the ball. So be on the lookout for Ray Davis, especially James Cook. We don't root for injuries here. James Cook goes down. Ray Davis, look at him. Here's the thing. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the 2 quarterbacks that Lamar Jackson has lost to against the spread as an underdog in his career. I wrote that stat out, stole it from Evan Abrams like I do when they were dogs, but now they're favorites. So I think that's weird. I don't care. I'm following the sharp movement here, taking Baltimore at the 1.5. All right, Minnesota at Chicago. Right now, Chicago opened up as -1.5 point favorites, flipped to +1.5, 46% of the bets, and 36% of the money back in them. I know we still have one person here, so let me know if you want me to go over anything in your left. Wow. All right, we're now doing this people on the live stream, and we love it. Let's go. We got Minnesota and Chicago. Now, Chicago, here's the thing with that. Caleb Williams, is he going to be able to be what he really was all meant out to be? They made significant improvements to their offensive line. Their receiving core is a fantastic core. You even brought in Luther Burden to add to Roman Dunze and DJ Moore. And you also got Loveland. Sick last name, kind of sounds like an amusement park that I'm not cool enough to ever be invited to. But Colton Loveland, but Loveland, you have an incredible last name. I truly believe in this offense for the Bears. Defense, again, some question marks. I'm not so sold in as I am with the offense, but I think Caleb Williams can take a step up. If he can, the Bears might be able to go above their win total for the first time in the last 4 years. Vikings. Kevin O'Connell is going to have this Viking team humming. J.J. McCarthy is making his first NFL start. I might watch this game with a Michigan fan as well, so that's going to be kind of an interesting dynamic as we're going through the game. Just because I bet he probably wishes J.J. McCarthy was his best friend. For me, I feel like Guy Fieri would be a cool best friend. Yeah. And so when you're thinking about the Vikings, they are currently, now favorites. The game has flipped. I personally think that Kevin O'Connell will have him humming. No Addison, I believe. I believe his suspension is then. Jefferson's still nagging with some injuries, so I guess Hawkinson's going to catch the ball for them. That's where I'm a little bit confused at. Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones are going to be in the backfield. That's going to be a nice 1-2 punch for them. However, here is where my mind is at as we're chatting through this. The Bears have more upside. There's a lot of data around a flip happening that benefits them. I like the Chicago Bears. Primetime, Caleb Williams decides to prove himself. Go ahead, get Chicago there. So, people, these are my 6 best bets. I know we have one person in here. Cleveland +5.5. Don't hate the over as long as it doesn't get out of control. Jets +3. Falcons +2.5. Green Bay -2.5. Baltimore -1.5. Chicago -1.5. A lot of narrow spreads. We like to take these big dogs. Tennessee, Broncos, there's two-way sharp action. I don't love it. Touchdown parlay before we sign off. Now, I didn't have time to really map out a ton here. We're trying to do a Thursday show instead of a Friday show. You're going to want DeAndre Swift. You're going to want to put Njoku in there, and you're going to want to put Justin Fields in there. Now, what is my rationality for these 3? Well, I believe you'll be able to get good odds on each individual one, and it just seems like something that can happen. I can see Packers getting, I can see the Bears getting close. DeAndre Swift running one in. I can see Njoku catching a touchdown from Flacco against that horrible Bengals secondary. And Justin Fields, I think he's just going to get his revenge, and he's going to get frustrated, and he's just going to run the ball and hopefully score. So, people, that is your live version of the Affaka Show. I honestly think I like filming it better than the live show, but please like, subscribe. I'm desperate if you made it this far.